Yo, what's up, guys? Zaid here from Famous Decks with my friend Dakota, bringing you the greatest deck of the May 2019 format. Show us the deck, Dakota. What is it?
It's Cyberse Fusion. We play 3 Clock Wyvern.
What does this card do?
Houses attack gets you a token. It's just there to be a starter. And he's also the main card of the Fusion monster that you're really trying to OTK around.
Broken.
3 Balancer Lord.
What's that card do?
Pays a stack, gives you an additional normal summon. And when he's banished, you get to drop another monster from your hand, so 4 or lower.
Oh my lord.
It's just another monster that gets you another card on field to link summon with. 3 Cyberse Gadget.
What's that one do?
Brings back a level 2 or lower from grave, and when it's sent from field to grave, you can bring out a token. Just another card to link summon with and get you more monsters.
Cyberse are OP.
2 Dotscaper. Just there, when he goes to grave, brings himself back. If he's banished, he brings himself back. Just another thing to get you monsters. 2 Backup Secretary just drops herself if you have a Cyberse.
Why don't you have the star foils?
I have 1 Starfoil, 1 common.
Oh, let's see it. I don't see it. Oh, beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah, I need to get a second one. 2 Link Infraflyer.
What's that card?
Summons itself to his own Link monster points to. It's just another copy of Backup Secretary, essentially. 2 Ferret.
The only card in the deck I know what it does.
It just summons your monster to your zone so you can keep building off on Link monsters. 1 Buffalo. Drop your Cyberse, draw 2.
Pot of Greed.
You essentially just drop Clock Wyvern so you can bring it back from the grave with another effect. Stack Reviver. Use Link Summon, you can bring back a monster from the graveyard that it was used to Link Summon with. So you link it off with another monster just to bring that monster back. Widget Kid summons one from hand on summon. That's just it. Just another way to get on a monster. Sea Archiver drops a monster, drops itself back from the grave if you summon a monster to its own Link monster points to. It's okay. I might cut it. Debug, best card in the deck.
Best card, F in chat.
Searches level 3 or lower Cyberse. Use search Infraflyer or Backup Secretary.
Can't believe the ban list hit you, dude.
Yeah.
Your deck was too powerful. They had to put it in check.
Understandable. 3 Sign Up Fusion on
What's
the spells. Lets you fusion summon. If you have no monster, extra monster zone, you can banish monsters from your Link monster in your graveyard.
Okay.
You rarely ever have a monster in the extra monster zone anyway at the end of your combo, so it's pretty good. 3 one-time passcode just summons a Cyberse token, and that's really it, just to make another Link monster. 2 Succession as an extender. I like playing this card to mostly just bring back all the stuff that I already used last turn, and it just gets the job done easily. 2 Conscription because you reveal your main boss monster to search Clock Wyvern. It's kind of good, 2 Super Poly because your main fusion just is generic and requires any number of Link monsters. But if you make the other fusion, you use any 2 Cyberse monsters, so you could potentially do something with that off of Salamangreat. 2 Backdoor. Banishes a guy on your field, searches for a monster with lower attack than it. Usually you banish Bouncer Lord to search a guy, then especially from your hand.
Too good. It's too good.
And at the end of the turn, the monster comes back, and then you get to swing directly with it. Everyone knows what Goldstark does.
So many 1-0s, bro. The ban list really hates your deck.
Not really. Mostly because the good dragon actually does something when it's destroyed. Just banishes. Goldstark just banishes something. Banish Bouncer Lord or Scaper to summon him. 1 for 1 to get out Dotscaper. Monster Reborn because it's just a good card overall. Then we go to the extra deck. We play 2 Clock Dragon.
What does this card do?
You fusion summon it using a Clock Wyvern and 1 or more Link monsters. When it's summoned, you mill cards equal to the Link rating of all the monsters used to summon it, and it gains a stack for each card. And other monsters can attack except for him. And if you have another Link monster in the field, you can't target anything on the field for attacks or effects except for himself. And when he's destroyed by an opponent's card effect, you can add any spell from your deck to your hand.
That's wild.
So you have no restrictions, which is why you play which is why the 1-ups actually do come in handy. 2 Diplexer Chimera. It's not really that good. You just tribute Cyberse so that your spell and traps can't be activated during the battle phase of that turn. And when you send to the graveyard, you can grab a Cyberse, a Signet Fusion, or a Cyberse monster engraved to your hand. He's just generic for 2 Cyberse monsters. So, which is why I said if you play Super Poly, you could just Super Poly a Salamangreat board. 2 Link Disciple. Sacks off a monster, points 2, draw 1, put 1 to bottom of the deck. You combo with another Link 1 that is a really good extender. You play 1 Devotee. It has a downside where for the rest of the turn that's summoned, you can't summon Link 3 or higher, but you rarely ever summon Link 3 or higher in this deck in the first place. And when it's tributed, you can summon 2 tokens. So you combo it off of Disciple so you can
Draw a card and then get 2 tokens and then go ham.
2 Clock Spartoy. On summon, it searches Signet Fusion. And if a monster summoned to a zone he points to, bring back a low 4 lower Cyberse from the graveyard. But you can only summon Fusion monsters for the rest of that turn. But that usually doesn't matter because you're just gonna...
You're gonna kill him.
Yeah. The main OTK
the MVP
card is Clock Lizard. You sack it off, then return a Fusion monster from your graveyard back to your extra deck. Then you banish all the materials used to summon that monster to summon it back.
That's insane.
So off your first turn, you just make 1 Clock Dragon just to link it off into Clock Lizard, bounce the Clock Dragon back after you did all your plays, and then you basically make it and mill like 17 cards. And if it's banished, you can make all special monsters in your opponent's field lose 400 attack for each Cyberse in your graveyard.
It's too good.
1 Honeybot. Another MVP because neither player can target monsters she points to with card effects, and they can't be destroyed in battle. So if you summon the Clock Dragon with her, your opponent can't target any of your monsters with effects, and they have to swing at a monster that can't be destroyed by battle and usually has 4,500 attack points during that turn.
Too beefy.
1 Security Dragon because it bounces stuff. That's really it. 1 Transcode because it gets to bring back Link 2 or lower Cyberses. So in case your opponent does something like Veiler or Clock Lizard, you just activate Spec to bring it back, and then Clock Lizard all over again. And any monster he's co-linked to gains 500, can't be targeted by card effects. That effect usually doesn't matter because you're never really co-linking with him. 1 Xcode, just another Link 3 that locks out extra monsters, that locks out main monster zones. And any monster he points to gains 500, can't be destroyed by card effects. And 1 Encode. It's really just an honest for any monster he points to.
That's wild.
He's just...
Can you beef up your fusion?
Yeah, you can
Make it even bigger.
Side deck, 2 Ash because I don't main hand traps in this deck because the deck has too many 1-ups for me not to play hand traps in. 2 Twin Twister because I have to deal with back row decks at this locals. 2 Shared Ride because you get to draw cards. And most of the time, if you draw cards, you just draw into all the combo pieces needed. 2 Red Reboot, so if your opponent tries to do something in your OTK, they just can't. It doesn't matter how much life points you're at. 2 D-Barrier, so you can stop bad decks. 2 Anti-Spell. Anti-Spell usually doesn't matter if it's the first turn, but if it's during your second turn, no. If Anti-Spell works on your first turn, it hurts you during your first turn, but the second turn it doesn't matter because you just Clock Lizarding. Then 3 Rivalry because your entire deck is Cyberse and it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter.
Yo, can you show us like a combo? How does this deck work?
Well, a combo would be like normal Clock Wyvern. You get a token, link off the token into Disciple, then you link off the Clock Wyvern into the Devotee. Disciple lets you tribute the Devotee to draw a card and then put 1 from hand to bottom. The Devotee gets you 2 tokens. You link off a Disciple and 1 of the tokens for a Spartoy. Then Spartoy lets you search for Signet Fusion. And then normally just link off the last token for another Disciple, which will bring back your Wyvern.
Gotta move from over there.
Yeah, oh, my bad.
You're good, you're good.
Then you fusion into the Dragon, mill 1, and he's at 35. But usually have another extender in order to turn that 1 token into Honeybot. So you can summon the Clock Dragon over here and make it so there's no targeting and can't be destroyed by battle.
And then the next turn you just use the one dude,
Yeah,
Clock Lizard,
yeah.
kill him.
Yeah, like usually just like extend even further. Like you just you link 2 into you link 3 into transcode, bring back this girl, then you link off these 2 into Clock Lizard so that you can then banish like a total link rating of 3, 5, 7, 8, mill 8, and he's at 10,500.
It's so insane.
It's insane for a deck that will actually never do anything. It will never do anything. And I'm sad
Except
it won't.
top 4 at locals, brother.
That's because we're locals. That's because we're locals.
Well, thank you for the deck, Dakota. I
No problem.
appreciate it.
No problem.